Hello again, folks, and welcome back to Let's Play Breath of Fire 3. I'm your host, the Gamer Darius. Last we left off, we made it through the Oasis in only one shot. I'm sorry if I sound terribly surprised, but Once long ago, I went out into the desert on a trip. Let me tell you about what happened when, you got lost. I left the Oasis headed for the place called the Factory. I walked south for about a night and got lost. Ended up heading west. After about 4 nights, I realized my mistake. After that time, I lost something really important. So this guy is pretty much telling us where to find the special items. When I was coming back from the factory, I got turned around and went west when I should have gone east. I turned back after about 3 nights. I bet the nice outfit I lost is buried under the sands by now. But yeah, so we had gotten back here after only one stinking night, or one stinking attempt, as opposed to what I had originally projected being roughly 1 billion. Give or take a few hundred. No joke, I had absolutely no faith in my own ability to guide myself through the desert of death. Because, I'm... Goes to show what happens when you take the right directions. Do you need any water before going into the desert? Yes. So, it's all fun and games and whatnot. We could, in fact, just continue on with the plot. Nothing, This lady's pregnant. Who says nothing can live in the desert? Look at us. We're alive, aren't we? I mean, I guess. I don't think there's anything that could kill my wife. Probably not. Sounds like a tough lady. So, we're at the least going to get one of the items that dude was talking about in this particular case. Yes. So, from the Oasis, facing 1 turn left due west, or 5 turns left from due north. So where's due north? Due north is that way. Yeah, that's north. 1, 2. What's that one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Walk in that direction for exactly 3 full nights. No extra steps after you've prompted to make camp. Okay, then head west until you find the sword. Yes. So, heading this way for 3 full nights. And, then we'll have found it, hopefully. Which would be extremely awesome. I don't know if it will automatically take us into, like, a random encounter situation where we'll pick up the sword or not. But if it does, that'll be fantastic. I don't know if these are the exact directions that the dude was telling us, but it's the directions that were given to us on this FAQ. Which, by the way, I'm probably going to follow this FAQ as closely as I possibly can for the time being. As, yeah. Like I said, from here on, which is kind of sad, the end point of the game, is where I am at my worst. Because I really have no clue what the hell I'm doing. Speaking of no clue what the hell I'm doing. Trance, I guess? I don't know. I just want to get rid of this Magmite guy really fast. I don't think Ragnarok is going to do the trick. Killed the other ones pretty fast. Oh, I'm gonna be Radiance me in the beginning, aren't I? Well, I'm still very orange looking. Hey, cool. That made up for the fact that this... Okay, he did a fair amount of damage. That didn't hurt Gar as much as I thought it was going to. Alright, with your extra attack, I'm just gonna use Aura Breath. Because this should still hurt like a bitch. Yeah. 3 full nights. Oh god. I'm also pulling out Momo for a while because she does need to level for those last abilities that she'll get from Deus, which are good freaking abilities, by the way. Alright, where am I headed from? North. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. One moment, folks. Random calls, random encounters. Weird ass shit. Night 1. Yep. Back to this thing. So what we probably should have done is also gone for the factory first. Throat's getting dry, yeah. Because the factory is where we're going to be facing off against the... I think it's the factory. 1. Nah. 2. Nah. 3. There we go. It's hard counting out the exact time where... Oh hey, that restores 100 HP. Neat. I think each blip does 5 damage. You can quite easily see, by the way, with how much experience points you get for just... Sorry, I'm just making sure I'm going the right way. With how much experience points you get in the Desert of Death, that when you get lost and just end up playing the same save file for about 15 years, that you end up leveling up so fast. This is probably the more bothersome part of the game, really. Like the secret item, like these aren't really secret items, as the dude in the Oasis tells you where they are. So it's really just a matter of patience, which I'm surprised I had any when I was a kid to even try to do this section so many damn times. I had beaten Breath of Fire 4 before I had even beat Breath of Fire 3. It's just the way things are. I hate hot. I'm with you, but I prefer it over cold. We'll use up all our strength if we try to walk during the day. Yeah, that's why we're in the camp. Save water as much as we can. No point in using it until we need it. I've had enough of the desert. So have I, but unfortunately there's stuff that we want in the desert. Trust me. If I could get this stuff without coming out to the desert, would gladly do so. Fun fact too is that one of the many attempts I had going out into the desert, I'd actually found the royal sword by sheer accident. I think that's mostly because I had gone west so many times that I just instantly ran into the sucker. I wasn't following any paths. I wasn't, trying to use a walkthrough. I was just using what knowledge that I thought was right, which was the head north, head west, head north again. Not head north, head east, head north again. To which I could, in theory, end up finding the royal sword if I went that old path again. Anyway, so if we left north from the... So, yeah, in theory I could have possibly just found the royal sword by accident all over again. And by the rate of how I'm proceeding in this game, I may end up going over like 70 hours of playing this, which I don't mind. I love this game to death Kind of ironic seeing as I'm going through the Desert of Death. Coincidental. Sorry, it's more of a coincidence than ironic. That I love this game to death. And I'm going through the Desert of Death. Oh boy. Making a trip through the desert entertaining is difficult. I don't know if people know this. It's like my last couple of videos there, I was like, oh man, Desert of Death, that's gonna be a hard one to make interesting. Because let's face it, it's walking through a desert to the same tune, to the same sound of desert wind passing through our ears. It's gonna be a little obnoxious. Especially when I try to remember, oh hey, has it been 2 nights or has it been 3 nights? Blah. Walk in that direction. 3 full nights. So this will be the end of night 2. In which case I'll need to start heading due west as opposed to... Yeah, sun has risen. Walking during the day only wastes energy. Time to make camp. And I was only 2 blasts with the thing, but I'm going to go ahead and use... I hate... Yep. Do I want to break camp? I would honestly hate to have to navigate through an actual desert in real life. Because, from what I've heard, they're pretty horrific experiences. People aren't dehydrated and dying by the time they... People aren't dying and dehydrated after so many nights, they'll probably have been ripped up by coyotes or the like. Coyotes are a thing out in the west. I think we only really have wolves up here in the northeast. Darius, stop pressing start. Okay. Bam. Onward. One more night this way and then we head to the west. Due west until I find the sword. Which should approximately take 1 night according to this FAQ. Shouldn't be too bad. And then when we get the royal sword, that's one of Darius's best weapons that he could wield. I think the other one is once again an item that we can only get in the final dungeon, cave, encounter place. I'm not sure what exactly to call it. Also, fun fact, in the PSP version of this game, when you get out of a random encounter, or when you break camp, you'll actually end up in a random direction, not necessarily the direction you were originally facing. In the PSP version, they changed it, so you don't have to worry about, facing the wrong direction anymore. A little disappointing, makes it, I don't know, I kind of like the having to make sure you're facing the right direction thing. Makes it so as you have to force yourself to pay attention. It makes that little bit more interaction with the Desert of Death. That's, that keeps this whole experience right here from being completely and totally maddeningly, insanely boring. I'm not saying it isn't kind of boring. It is honestly still my one biggest gripe with this game as a whole. But to be completely honest, this is certainly more interesting than, just going through the desert or just doing this, that, or the other thing. I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's hard to explain. I dislike it, but I don't hate it. This puts a small sour note on an otherwise perfectly beautiful, perfectly fine game. And it's such a small note to me, despite having been stuck playing this same part for 15 plus years. I can't describe it. I really can't. I swear we're near the end of this particular desert trip, in which case I might just have it so as I just go right to the royal armor when we get to it. Probably not, actually, because I like making people suffer with me. But hey, at least I'm cutting out the otherwise really obnoxious random encounters, right? Right. Yeah, it's like a 20-minute expedition out into the wilderness just to find these super awesome pieces of armor and equipment. I suppose that's a little bit more interesting than going into a battle and hoping you find this one monster that has the item you're looking for, and then spending like 15 minutes trying to steal it from that particular monster. What I'm going to be facing when I reach that final dungeon. No joke, it's what I'm going to be doing. And yes, we are heading west now. Like, due west. Due west. Is this it? So if these directions are wrong, I'm probably just going to go ahead and call it wherever the hell I am. Because I'm not sure how much more of just going through the desert for items that people can take. Honestly, when I was first going through the Desert of Death a couple of episodes back, I was thinking to myself, yeah, I could totally do this in only one episode. No, I forgot that it was like an hour per attempt. And that was... just ugh. I don't know how else to describe it besides ugh. I don't even know how the hell I managed to thwart having gone in the wrong direction so well, too. Because... oh. Another random encounter? Yep, sounds like it. There it is! Damn it! Ain't gonna lie, Momo having the equivalency of summon big rock is awesome. Found it. Found the royal sword. And this sucker is stupid strong. With some electric properties. Don't know really how much that's going to affect other random encounters in the long run. But hey, we found it, which means that we can head back and I can get the royal armor in just a hot second. The royal armor is pretty nice, but I don't think it may be all that great. I think it's only return to factory. I hadn't been to the factory. Go to the factory, I guess. Using its homing instinct, the Rakta returns to base camp. Die. Well, you're back, are you? Well, there's no need to hurry. Take your time and get used to the desert. Don't forget to fill up your canteen before you go. So, okay, this is what they mean by factory. For some reason, I thought they were meaning the container yard, which is very much not the place I was thinking about. Alright, so I might as well extend this episode out and get the royal armor as well. Just let me save. Hey everyone in the future, so guess what? This was my attempt at the life armor, and it did not go well. I went on for approximately 10 nights, heading north for 2 nights, and then west for 3 nights, so it should have been 5 nights that I had gotten to the life armor, and that was not the case. I ended up not finding the armor. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the video here and cut out the 30 some odd minutes of just me ranting and raving. I'm sorry if you wanted to hear all that. I ended up leveling up a couple of times. That's about it. The only exciting thing we've ended up getting. Also a bunch of Swallow Eye, which is kind of weird. So, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Cheers.